down one in the third period and got 2 stall calls in a matter of 45 seconds. I think he was hoping for the same situation on his end there, but didn't get it. Now we'll get a chance to see Jake Dailey for the first time tonight for the Heels.
Dailey matched up with Cody Kirk. And by the way, just to lay things out at 174 to finish off that conversation tonight, North Carolina in their next 3 duels, West Virginia, Northern Iowa, Nebraska, 3 top 20 wrestlers they'll face at 174. So certainly more opportunities for one of those guys to really stake their claim for that spot. Here at 184, Jake Dailey has been the guy in the early season. He put Kirk in a tough spot.
In a crackdown position, Kirk was looking to sit the corner and eventually bailed out of position. Looked like his knee got tangled up there. Hopefully it's not too bad. You could kind of see when he gave up that position. Ended up giving up the takedown as well.
Scott Joel crouched with the trainer, checking on Cody Kirk. Scott Joel actually wrestled at West Virginia and then finished off his career at UNC Pembroke.
Yeah, and for you wrestling fans, he's been wrestling in the Claw Invitational as well. So if you haven't been tuning into that, tune into that. I know they drop an episode every Wednesday night. We got some other former Tar Heels wrestling in that. Zach Sherman for the Leopards. They'll be competing in the final of the Claw here in a couple weeks.
Joel, Schall's Award winner in 24. He's the first non-D1 wrestler to win it. He got it in his year at Pembroke. That's for the top pinner in all the nation. And he mostly works with these upperweight guys like Kirk, like Daniel Eliash, and DJ Spring. Final 3 wrestlers to round out the duel for Davidson.
Injury time gave Jake Dailey the choice of where to start. So he chose down, gets a quick escape, which will bring him to 4-0. Now he's looking to keeping a toe in balance, just trying to get this takedown here on the edge. I know Jake Dailey's the UNC influencer on the team. Big on TikTok.
He was part of a New York Times article earlier this year. New York Times came down to Chapel Hill and wrote about a bunch of athletes across many different sports, not necessarily the footballs and basketballs of the world, but North Carolina does such a great job with all of its Olympic sports that Dailey and swimmers and field hockey players, all part of a group that can make plenty off their name, image, and likeness. Although for any of you Tar Heel fanatics that have been tuned in to the full Carolina duels, the field hockey team went down in the Final 4 today. Lost in overtime to Northwestern. Tough blow for Aaron Madsen's crew because championships are always the expectation with UNC field hockey. We get word that women's soccer is also tied with Texas Tech right now. They're in the NCAA tournament as well.
Jake Dailey's going to be one of the more athletic 184-pounders that you see this year wrestle. You know, he graduated high school and originally came in as a 165 and just been putting on size ever since he came in. Pretty sure he finished his high school career wrestling in the 150s. So he's a big 184-pounder that can move like a lightweight. He gets a crafty takedown there on the edge.
College strength training, college nutrition program working wonders on Dailey, who is filled out.
100%. He looks every bit of 84. Looks a little bit different than what I saw him last year.
When you got to college, when did you first notice that the strength regimen and the dieting having an impact? Take you a year or two to really get comfortable with it?
I'd say I was pretty comfortable with it coming in. I think the endurance was the big factor for me. But that's just my personal experience. I was really big into lifting and dieting in high school. That just comes from my personal experience. My dad was a amateur bodybuilder, and so he always made us eat healthy and punished us if we weren't lifting every day. So I had a little bit different of an experience, but for some guys, when they get into a college program and start lifting and taking things super serious, it makes a huge difference if they weren't doing that already. And I think Dailey was a little bit of a late bloomer. He was just growing a lot. So he's a lot more mature physically and it's really filled out into a full 184-pounder.
He comes from a wrestling family, too. His dad is a wrestler at Drexel.
Now, I will say, though, weight room strength is a lot different than wrestling strength. If you don't have the right technique behind yourself, you're going to feel yourself pulling or lifting a lot more than you should be if you have the right technique.
That's to say a big bench press doesn't necessarily translate to success on the mat.
100%. Everything's so technical out here on the mat.
Dailey primed for a major.
He's working these inside ties. He's shooting a reach single, a 1-2 single off his inside tie. Like we saw, that was good defense by Kirk. Inside trip off of a front headlock. This is good defense by Dailey. He's sitting in the corner, but this might be a good position for Kirk, but we're just scrambling here.
Dailey's back was on the mat for a second.
Another post high crotch attempt by Dailey. Now we're in a crackdown. He's trying to elevate that leg and collect both of them.
3-point takedown for the Tar.
And with 20 seconds left, you'd like to see a right out here. Trying to keep your opponent flat. Trying to make it hard for them to build up. Dailey's doing that with a crossface, keeping that shoulder buried on the far side.
Riding time up to 55 seconds as the period expires. Nate Carr tells Cody Kirk just to take it neutral.
Neutral position to begin the final period at 184.
After the Carolina duels, Davidson has its first home duel against Purdue. Pretty big opponent to bring to Belk Arena. And very tough matchups as well. Purdue with a handful of nationally ranked guys.
Another good finish by Dailey, but it put some more pressure on that knee again that's been bothering him. Hope to see he's okay. Dailey's going to have choice here, I think.
Dailey says, let's go neutral. Kirk gets the escape point, but a takedown here can put a bow on the thing.
Working off that inside reach. That's where Dailey's offense is coming from today. From the collar tie, he shoots with the opposite hand. And Kirk here wrestling on the edge. Get hit with a stall call. That'll put us 1 point closer to attack, 15-1. If you're Jake Dailey, you want to finish this match in these final 58 seconds with a tech fall.
Kirk gives him the old go-by. And credit to Cody Kirk, wrestling through a right knee that's certainly a little worse for wear after the first period.
Dailey keeping the toe in. I'd like to see him drag him back to the center of the mat with that foot. Give yourself some more space to finish, but instead we'll go out of bounds. I'll restart. We got 33 seconds. 1 point will be a tech fall. Another outside shot attempt by Dailey, followed up by another.
Great re-attack from Jake Dailey ends the matchup.
At 184 pounds, Jake Dailey.
Tech fall win for the redshirt freshman, 18-1. Dailey just kept on building momentum.
That's another thing we were talking with Tony was just along with chain wrestling.